Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. We got a pretty decent snow here in the last couple of days, so I have switched from wearing kind of like my walking and hiking shoes that I wear every day at work over to my waterproof work boots because I do a lot of work outside. I'm not just inside the building. I have to go out, go back, do lumber, do a bunch of different things. So I have to have some type of waterproof boot in the wintertime because I'm going to be in the snow and the ice and that kind of stuff. And I always take a little bit extra time to put some beeswax on my boots to keep them going, get as much wear out of them as I possibly can. And the way the economy is now and the price on stuff is going up, if you got good quality stuff, you want to make it last as long as possible. And these are my work boots. They're just plain Survivor. Bought them at Walmart probably 2.5, 3 years ago. They're actually a made in the USA boot. But what I do with these guys is couple times a year, I will clean them up, get the dirt and that kind of stuff off of them. And then what I do is I will heat this leather up with a hair dryer, and I'll get this leather nice and warm, and then I will put on some kind of beeswax leather conditioner, and that's what I'm fixing to do here now. And the reason I heat this leather up is it will absorb, this stuff will actually melt, and it will absorb into the leather and protect it. And you can see here, for a couple of years on these boots actually look pretty good from wearing them in the winter. And I not only do that on the leather of these boots, I also do it on stuff like knife sheaths. I will heat these up with the hair dryer, and I will put on the same type of beeswax leather conditioner or protectant that's on there to get as much wear out of my leather sheaths as possible. And I've had really, really good luck with it. Now, what do you do if it's, it's after an SHTF situation? Well, I actually keep beeswax here because I have some apothecary stuff to make different salves and whatnot. And believe it or not, beeswax is used, one of the main ingredients when you're making some type of homemade salves and balms and that kind of stuff. So I always keep some beeswax here. Now, if you want to use just straight beeswax, you can. I would melt the beeswax and I would heat up the leather, and then I would put the melted beeswax on there. But usually it's better if you have a little carrier oil to make more of this type of consistency in the material, so it goes, it's a little bit easier to work with. So what I would do is I would take a real small amount of oil, something like an olive oil, and I would get that hot, and then I would melt the beeswax pellets in that, and then I would use that to protect my leather. But you want to kind of keep that stuff, the oil and that kind of stuff, to a minimum, because you don't want that stuff to break down the leather, because too much of that can be negative too. But in a situation when you were trying to improvise something, that would be the best way to do it. Another thing is like knives with leather handles, like this right here. This is another thing that's actually really good once in a while to put a coating of this on. I've actually seen quite a few of these leather handles deteriorate over the years because the leather wasn't really taken care of, these leather discs that are in here. So that's another thing that, if I'm going to take this knife out and use it on a camping trip or a hike or something like that, I'll probably heat this up with a hairdryer, and I'll throw a little bit of that same type of beeswax material. But this beeswax leather conditioner, this is actually just the regular Survivor brand that I got at Walmart. And I've had pretty good luck with this brand right here, and it's pretty readily available. But there's a bunch of different brands of these. And, whichever one you can get in your local area is, what you can use. I haven't, I'm not going to tell you to use one brand over another on that. It's whatever you can find and use. That's the cheapest. But like I said, heating up that leather with a hairdryer before you put the put that beeswax leather conditioner on these boots will help these boots absorb that and do a better job, and make these guys that are getting more and more expensive every year last as long as possible. But anyways, Modern Refugee, appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys always get some information, some entertainment out of my videos, and you guys have a good one.